Hi guys, this Friday I'm going to show you how to make this little whale. And this is actually a request, somebody wanted a little whale, so hopefully he's not too small. This guy is about the same size as a little turtle that I did. He measures about 2 inches by about 1 inch. See him in the palm of your hand. Okay, so we're going to be using some DK light worsted weight yarn, and I've chosen a different sort of bluey purpley colour and white for his belly. And you also need a tiny little bit of black yarn as well. This is a yarn weight of 3. That's for the eyes. We're going to be using a 3mm crochet hook, and it's also a good idea to have a pair of scissors and a yarn needle as well. And you don't need any toy stuffing because you can just use some leftover yarn scraps from the yarn you're using just to stuff him. He doesn't need very much. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to start off with the white, and the first thing I want to say about this pattern is, as you can see, he's got a white underbelly compared to the rest of him, and this is all done in one go, so this is actually very fiddly to do. So if you're new to crochet, I don't recommend trying to change colour. I mean, you can give it a try, never say never, but you can still make this little whale all in one colour. Just follow the exact same pattern, but just don't change colours. But in this video I'm going to show you when and where to change the colour, and we're going to start off with the white for his belly. And to do that, we're going to chain 4 to begin. Just going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we're going to slip stitch in our first chain to form a loop. Just pull the yarn through for the loop on your hook, and that's now created a little loop of your 4 chains, and in the centre of that you will find a little hole. So what you want to do is put your hook into there, bring the yarn through. But what we're actually going to do before we finish our single crochet, we're actually, rather than yarning over the white to finish our single crochet, we're going to yarn over with our colour. It's already starting to get fiddly. You can of course just carry on in the one colour you're using and do a single crochet as normal, but we're going to finish that first single crochet in our bluey purpley colour. I'm just going to pull these down a little bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do another single crochet, so go back into that loop, into the centre of that loop you created, and do another single crochet, and this time we just complete it as normal in our colour, like so. Then we're going to go back into the loop and do another single crochet, and then we're going to go back into our loop and do another single crochet, but this time instead of yarning over with the colour, we're going to come back to our white. So you want to yarn over with the white instead to finish that 3rd single crochet or 4th single crochet. So you've done 1 in white, and then at the end you changed to the colour and you did 1, 2 in just normal colour, and then on the 3rd one you finished with the white, and then we're going to go back in and do 1 more single crochet. So go back into that, my tail ends that way, go back into that loop and do a single crochet in full colour like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should have 5 single crochet by the end of that first round, and then all you want to do is slip stitch into your first single crochet, that white one, slip stitch to join. Okay, so it should look like that. So you should have 3 in the purple and 2 in white. Okay, or if you just used one colour, you should just have 5 single crochet in that loop. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and you want to keep it quite loose, so bring the yarn up, chain 1 in your white, and we're going to do one single crochet in the same stitch as that previous slip stitch, where you slip stitched into to join the round. I'm going to go back in there, we're going to do a single crochet, pull the yarn through, but we're going to finish not with the white, we're going to finish with the purple. Like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we can do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Let's go into the next stitch and do 2 single crochet as normal, 1, and go back into the same stitch and do another one, 2, and 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1, and another one in the same stitch, and 2 single crochet in the next stitch. But we'll do the first one as normal and then go back into the same stitch and do the second one, but we're going to finish, don't yarn over with the purple, we're going to yarn over with the white. Okay, tail ends out the way, yarn over with the white instead. Okay, and in that very last stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet again. 1, should now be working in the white, get back to the same stitch, do 2 single crochet. So by the end of that round you should have 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 and 10, including that chain 1. We want to slip stitch into that chain 1. To find your chain 1, it always looks like there's another stitch there, but that's a fake stitch. Just above that is your chain 1. So, sorry about my injury on there. Some gardening yesterday and ended up with injuries. Typical before I had to do my videos as well. So there we go, just slip stitch into that chain 1 to join the round. Okay, so then we're going to move on to round 3. And for round 3 we're going to chain 1 again at the beginning. Bring your yarn up, keep it loose and do that chain 1. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet in the next stitch now, so don't go back into the slip stitch one, we go into the next stitch. The first one is worked as normal in white, and then go back into the same stitch to work the second one, bring the yarn through but stop, and we're going to yarn over with the purple instead, like so. So working with the purple again. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch by itself, just 1, then 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 and another one in the same stitch, then a single crochet by itself in the next stitch, so just 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 and another one in the same stitch. There's a lot of outside noise of trimming hedges. Typical. And then 1 single crochet in the next stitch by itself. I hope it's not too disturbing. Then 2 single crochet in the next stitch, but the last one we're going to rejoin the white. So we do 1 single crochet as normal, go back into the same stitch to do your second, but then stop before you yarn over and finish. You're going to yarn over with the white to bring the white back into play. And then in the next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet by itself and finish in the last stitch with 2 single crochet, 1 and another one in the same stitch, and then we just slip stitch into our chain 1. So there's our little fake stitch that tricks us, and just above that is our chain 1. Just slip stitch into there. So by the end of that round you should have a stitch count of 15. It should look something like that. So if you're just working in one colour, all you did was chain 1, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, ending on 2 single crochet, slip stitch in chain 1 for a stitch count of 15. I'm going to shut the window because it's really noisy. Okay, so moving on to round 4, what we're going to do is the same again. We're going to chain 1 to begin. Bring your yarn up, do a chain 1. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, but at the very end we're going to join our purple colour. Those tails out of the way. Okay. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 9, but on the 9th one we're going to rejoin the white. So 1 single crochet in the next 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this 9th one we go in and bring the yarn through, but we're going to, instead of yarning over with the colour, we're going to yarn over with the white, like so. And you want to keep it quite loose because we're not fastening off on the inside, but you don't want it to distort and pull in, so just keep it loose on the inside. Now we're working with our white again, and we're going to finish up with 1 single crochet in the last 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to slip stitch in that chain 1 to finish. Okay, so you should still have a stitch count of 15. So we're going to move on to round 5, which is quite similar. Let's bring the hook up and do a chain 1. And do 1 single crochet in the next 3 this time, and on the 3rd one change to our colour. So 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and carrying on in white, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, but we're not going to yarn over to finish with white, we're going to yarn over with our colour instead. Remembering to keep it loose on the inside. And now working with our colour, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 8, and on the last one, the 8th one, we're going to rejoin the white again. So 1 single crochet in the next 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this 8th one we go in and start our single crochet, but instead of yarning over with the colour, we're going to yarn over with the white again, like so, keeping it loose. Push it down and keeps it loose. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm actually just going to trim down these tail ends, get them out of the way a little bit. So that's slightly off screen, but just trimming the tail ends. Just don't want to move it too much. There we go. So now working with the white again, and we're just going to finish up with 1 single crochet in the last 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we just slip stitch in that chain 1. To join the round. Okay. So it should look a little something like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a very similar round again. We're going to chain 1, like so, keep it loose, 1 single crochet in the next 3. We're going to join our colour on the 3rd one. So 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 in the next stitch, then 1 in the next stitch, but we're going to stop just before we yarn over and finish and rejoin our colour. Like so, keeping it loose. Then what we're going to do is we'll do 1 single crochet in the next 8, and then on the last 8th one we're going to rejoin the white again. So the next 8, 1, 2, 3, 7, and then 8 we go in, bring the yarn through, but before we finish, yarn over with the white instead, like so, pushing down that yarn to keep it loose on the inside. Now working with our white again, we're just going to finish up with 1 single crochet in the last 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then we just slip stitch in that chain 1. Like so. Okay, so it should look a little something like that. And what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to do the eyes now while it's easy to access the inside. So what I'm going to do is just bring up the yarn slightly. I'm just going to get a little bit of our black yarn. Don't need very much at all. And get our yarn needle, which I've lost. There it is. Taking a little bit of your black, thread your black yarn on, and then what we want to do is, looking at this guy, all I did was tiny little eyes, really subtle eyes. So, and that was about 1, 2, 3 rounds in from the nose. 1, 2, 3, so just after there. You're going to put your hook, we're going to come in from the inside, so go on the inside. Just bring our hook through, so 1, 2, 3, in between rows 3 and 4, and then just leave a little tail, and then just go over really slightly, just slightly over. And then we're going to go over to the opposite side. So the first thing you want to do is make sure it's level. Counting 1, 2, 3 in. You want to come out. Yeah, I think that's about right. Creates a tiny little eye. Don't pull too tight. And then again, just go over very slightly and then come out the back. Or the inside, come out of the inside rather. Okay, take the hook off. Just check you're happy with your little eyes. And then all we need to do is tie this on the inside gently. Not putting it too tightly because I don't want the eyes to get really small. So there we go, and I'm going to trim the excess out of the way, and we can use all these scraps that I've got so far, that I've cut off tail ends and stuff for stuffing on the inside. So there we go, there's our tiny little eyes. And then we're going to carry on with our little whale. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to round 7, and we're going to chain 1, so bring the yarn up, it's already slightly up, chain 1, keeping that loose, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together. So go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, and go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, then yarn over, pull through all 3 to single crochet 2 together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, but what we're going to do is we're going to not finish with the white, we're going to finish with our colour. So yarn over and finish that single crochet with a colour. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet 2 together again. So we go into the next stitch, pull through, go into the next stitch, sorry, fly in my eye, and pull through, then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch. Okay. Then we're going to single crochet 2 together again. So go into the next stitch, pull through, go into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then we do 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch. And then we're going to single crochet the next 2 together. Let's go into the next one, pull through, to the next one, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then we're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, still with our purple, but we're going to finish, rather than with the purple, we're going to finish with our white, like so. Make sure to keep it loose. Okay. Then what we're going to do is single crochet the next 2 together, or the last 2 together. Let's go into the next stitch, pull through, to the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then we're just going to slip stitch in our chain 1. Let's find that chain 1. Slip stitch to join the round. Okay, so you should have reduced your stitch count down to 10 again. Okay, so moving on to the next round, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 again. Let's pull your yarn up slightly and chain 1. And we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2. On that second one, we're going to rejoin our colour. So 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 4 white, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, but we're going to yarn over with the purple or the colour to finish, like so. Okay, so working with the colour again. Then 1 single crochet in each stitch around to the very last stitch. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch around to the last stitch. So to find that last stitch, there's the last stitch, we do 1 more, and then just before that's the last stitch there, so the second to last stitch we need to rejoin our white. So the second to last stitch we yarn over with the white. Okay, and then in that very last stitch we do a single crochet in our white, and then we just need to, it's a bit fiddly, going to slip stitch into our chain 1, so there's our fake stitch and there's our chain 1 just next to it. Okay, so just do have a stitch count of 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so then we're going to move on to round 9. And we're going to chain 1 again to begin. It's really fiddly, so yeah, gotta have a lot of patience. So chain 1, then we're going to single crochet 2 together, but when we yarn over to pull through all 3 we need to join the purpley colour. So go into the next stitch, pull through, go into the next stitch and pull through. Instead of yarning over with the white, we're going to yarn over with our colour. I can get the white out of the way. With our colour, but I need to make sure to keep that loose still. So we're working with our colour again. Then we're going to single crochet 2 together 3 times. On the very last one we rejoin the white. So single crochet the next 2 together. Into the next one. And go into the next one, yarn over, pull through all 3, just in the purple. Then I find it easier to flatten the work as you go around, makes it a bit easier. Then go into the next stitch, pull through, to the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, single those 2 together, single crochet those 2 together. And the next 2, I want to go into the next stitch, pull through, to the next stitch, pull through, but you want to yarn over and finish with the white, not the purple, and just pull up slightly and make sure you're keeping it loose, like so. And then we're going to finish up with one single crochet in the last stitch. So you should have one stitch left, just there, and we're going to single crochet in there. Get this purple out of the way, single crochet in there, and then if you can find it, you need to slip stitch into your chain one. So there's our fake stitch, there's our chain one. If you keep the chain ones loose, it does make it easier to see at the end, a lot easier. So there we go. So your stitch count should have gone down to 6 now, and it does start to get very fiddly. But what we need to do now is we need to do one more round. So I'm just going to bring up my yarn slightly, and I'm going to get my scissors and just push out my shape a little bit, like so. We need to do one more round, but we're not going to decrease, we're just going to do a chain one. So pull up the yarn slightly, do a chain one, and then we're going to do one single crochet in that next stitch, but instead of yarning over the white, we need to yarn over with the purple or the colour, and then one single crochet each stitch around to the last stitch. So you should have a stitch count of 6 including your chain one, so that was the third. 3, 4, 5. Now on your 5th one, the second to last stitch, you need to rejoin the white again. So the second to last stitch, you rejoin the white, so that in the very last stitch you can I can't even see it, where's it gone? My, there it is. The last stitch, you can just do a single crochet in the white, like so, and then we need to slip stitch in our chain one. So find that fake stitch just next to it. Here's your chain one, keep it loose, easy to see, and there we go. Okay, so it should look a little something like that. And what we're going to do now, just bring up your yarn and using your scissors try and just bring out that hole at the end a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're now going to stuff our little whale with some yarn scraps. So I'm going to get our yarn scraps. We've got a few there. You may have some lying around from previous projects. I always recommend just stuffing with similar colours to the actual whale, so like blues and whites, rather than the blacks. I mean, you can use the blacks, but just makes it less noticeable. Okay, so I'm going to stuff my little whale now. It's a good idea to use scissors, that's the easiest way to get stuffing in there. So I'm going to stuff my whale with some yarn scraps and then I shall come back. Okay, so when you've finished stuffing your little whale, what we're going to do now is work on the tail. And to do that, we're going to rejoin our hook, and you've finished up on a white, on the white. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4, but we're going to chain straight away with our colour rather than the white. So chain 4, so that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch in our first chain to form a loop. So put your hook in that first chain, slip stitch through the loop on your hook, and that creates a little loop again like we did at the very beginning. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We're going to turn our work. So we're going to turn our work so our little 4 chain loop is on the left. So we're going to turn and we're going to work 2 treble crochets into that loop. And to do a treble, we yarn over twice. So yarn over twice and then put your hook into the centre of that 4 chain loop there. Bring the yarn through and then you pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. We need to do another treble, so you yarn over twice, go into that loop again, the 4 chain loop, so ignore the chains themselves, then pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and just move it over as best you can. You might want to pull the white down to get that and secure that in a bit. So 2 trebles, and then we're going to do a double crochet. Just yarn over once, go back into the 4 chain loop again and do a double crochet. Then we're going to slip stitch into that 4 chain loop. Let's go back into the 4 chain loop and do a slip stitch. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And we're going to do 2 trebles again. So we need to yarn over twice. Get some more yarn. Yarn over twice and go back into the 4 chain loop. Do a treble. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And we need to do another treble, so yarn over twice again, go back into that 4 chain loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, so you've got 2 treble crochets in there again. Then we do a double crochet, so go back into that 4 chain loop, do a double crochet. Then we need to do a slip stitch. Like so. And that creates our little tail. And then what we need to do, I'm just getting this white out of the way, is we need to just slip stitch in the next stitch on the main. Just find that was the chain 1 we slip stitched into at the end of our wale. So the next stitch along, so that last bit of white, just put your hook for that stitch, the last white stitch, and do a slip stitch, and that just brings the tail more securely. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cut our yarns, and you want to leave, you can cut the white short, but with the purple just leave a little bit sewing at the end. Okay, then just pull your hook through, and with the white we can just pull that tight. I might actually sew that into, take your yarn needle and just sew it a little bit into place, just to secure it, pull it nice and tight, and then you can just add that to the stuffing on the inside. Cut it up into a ball and then get your scissors and just push that in. Okay, so you should be left with something that looks a bit like that. It should have a tiny little hole still. There's your tail, your little whale tail, and then we use the remaining yarn to sew the hole closed. So where's our little, so just use your remaining tail end to sew that hole closed. I'm just going into the tail and then the top of the hole. Just do it as neatly as you can. This also secures the tail in even more. Okay, so when that hole is sewn closed. Just need to hide our tail end on the inside, and to do that we just go into the body, come out wherever you like, don't pull too tightly at the end, and then we're just going to go back in where it came out and go somewhere, come out somewhere else, doesn't matter where. Very important, don't pull too tightly, that should disappear on the inside. And do that once more, just come out over here, make sure it's on the purple, don't pull too tightly, and then take our scissors and just push the body down a little bit, trim close to the edge, and then when the body pops back the tail end is hidden on the inside. So there we go, so there's our little whale minus his fins, and now we're going to work on fins. Okay, so to do the fins we use the same colour that you've been using for the main body, and taking the same hook size as well, 3mm. We're going to chain 4. Let's just chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4. Then in the second stitch from hook, so not that we don't count the loop on our hook, there's our first stitch, there's our second. Going into that second one we're going to do a single crochet. Okay. Then in the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet. Then in the last one we're going to do a single crochet again. Like so, and that's it. You want to leave a little bit of a tail for sewing on. But there's our little fin, like so. Okay, so you just need to repeat that again for the second fin, so I'll do that and then I shall come back. Okay, so I've just repeated that again to get our little second fin, so they should both look a little something like that. And first thing to do is we're going to tie up our beginning tail end, so not the one you finished with. I'm going to leave that for sewing onto the body. We're just going to tidy up this beginning tail, and to do that I'm just going to sew it in a bit, some of the stitches. Like so, and then just trim it down, gets it out of the way. And then the beginning tail, the end tail end, the one we're going to use for sewing, put that on our yarn needle, and the first thing to do is actually move the yarn over slightly just to bring the shape in. So I'm going to sew over to the left side, top left side, a little bit, and that just curves it in a little bit, like so. Then we're going to take our little whale, and then finding a good position for your fin, there's his little eye. You want it sort of going over the purple and the white. We're just going to sew in and then come out the other side. Okay, and then we're going to go back in where we came out and come out through the actual fin. Let's come out through the fin. And don't pull too tightly on that side, you don't want to distort it. Then we're just going to sew over back to the main body and out the other side again. Like so. And come back in again where it comes out, and come out through the edge of the fin again. Might get a little bit stiff, it depends on how much stuffing you've put on the inside. Again, don't pull too tightly, that'll disappear. And then just thread that back on. Then we're going to finish up going through the body again, and then we need to hide our tail end, so just bring that over to the other side. Oops, pulled a bit too tight, see, it distorts it slightly. Eek. come out somewhere else, pull too tight, come out again, and then do what we did before when closing up, we just push it down. Trim the excess off and then pop him out again. So there we go, there's our little fin for our whale. So you just need to repeat that exactly the same for the other side. Hide the beginning tail end, sew that in, and then sew that over to that side first and then just sew that on. So I'm going to do that and I shall come back and show you the finished whale. Okay. So there we go, I've just finished sewing on the other little fin and there's our finished whale. And you can go with the other little whale. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, hope you managed to follow along. If you attempted to do the changes in colour, I hope you didn't find it too fiddly. I shall add the written version to this onto my blog soon as well, so do check that out. Thanks for watching. Like I always say, I shall see you soon for some more crochet fun. Cheers guys, bye!